name is Dr. Esther Trufan, and in this video, I am going to demonstrate how we can titrate a sodium carbonate solution, first with phenolphthalein until it turns all to sodium bicarbonate, and then with methyl red until it is all converted to hydrocarbonic acid. For this titration, we're going to charge our burette with a hydrochloric acid solution. Mine is a 0.1 molar solution. We're going to use our two indicators, the phenolphthalein, to show the endpoint for the carbonate to bicarbonate transformation, and the methyl red indicator to show the bicarbonate to carbonic acid transformation. Because we want to know the exact amount of sodium carbonate solution that we're adding, we're going to use a 25 milliliter graduated cylinder, and we will be using our previously prepared sodium carbonate solution. Remember the one where we put 1 gram of sodium carbonate in the 100 milliliter volumetric flask. And then, because it is a titration, we will be using a 250 milliliter Erlenmeyer flask. So let's start by measuring approximately 15 to 20 milliliters of our sodium carbonate solution. We pour it into our graduated cylinder. We make sure there are no bubbles. We lower ourselves to eye level with the meniscus, and then we record our volume, which is 16.80 milliliters. Then we take our sodium carbonate solution, pour it into our Erlenmeyer flask. We're done with the graduated cylinder. We add 1 drop of phenolphthalein. There is a color change that is pretty instant. And then before we begin our titration, we record our starting volume of the hydrochloric acid solution. And with the meniscus at our eye level, we find that our starting volume is 0.40 milliliters. Then I raise it up so that I can slide my Erlenmeyer flask underneath. If you have a darker stand bottom, then slide a white piece of paper underneath so that you can get better contrast for your titration. I'm right-handed, so I will be swirling with my right and controlling the valve with my left. Gentle swirling, and when the shade of the indicator turns lighter, we're going to slow down. It is turning slightly more pale, but it is pretty vibrant, so we keep adding. Almost there, maybe 1 more drop. And this is really, really pale. We want to get to the palest shade because we know that when we only have sodium bicarbonate in our solution, then it is clear. So we want to be within a drop of that clear color. So I will let that last drop fall in, and I will record the endpoint of my titration with the phenolphthalein. And you can see it's really, really pale pink. With my eye level at the meniscus, we want to make sure it is not moving too much. We record our volume, and it is 18.56 milliliters. At this point, we add our second indicator. Everything that we've done so far confirms that we completely consumed our sodium carbonate, and it all turned into sodium bicarbonate. If we add our methyl red indicator, it should turn yellow. I added 2 drops. And now we're going to titrate our sodium bicarbonate until it is all converted into carbonic acid. And we're going to see some gas bubbles forming at the bottom. And we add until we get to that golden orange color, at which point we stop our titration and we record our final volume. And we got to that golden orange shade that we had earlier. We're going to record our volume this time. And if we did our titration correctly, the volume we consumed until the phenolphthalein and the volume we consumed after the phenolphthalein should be about the same. If it's not, then maybe our sodium carbonate isn't as pure as we thought it was. Or maybe we're still not getting our endpoints correctly. So let's get our meniscus to our eye level and record our final volume. And our final volume is 35.30 milliliters. And with that, we have concluded our titration of the sodium carbonate solution, and we're ready to move on.